to stay. That's what it says. Right, Jules, thank you. We will speak to you at half-time here inside the Etihad Stadium then. What a picture this is, surrounded by images of the face of Pep Guardiola for his 1000th game in management, facing the team that he said have been his greatest rival. The two sets of players are lined up in front of us. I look immediately to Dominic Szoboszlai with that flowing dark hair, the intensity that Arne Slot has been talking about. We saw it in the warm-up as he ran here, there and everywhere. We'll keep you up to date with all of the other live sport going on, but full commentary on a huge game in this still young Premier League season. It's Manchester City and Liverpool with Dion Dublin and correspondent John Murray.
Yes, thank you, Steve. Dion sitting alongside me. What a sight this is in front of us, isn't it? Before a match like this, so we've got the sky blue of Manchester City, the red of Liverpool, which stands out like a country mile in amongst all of this blueness, doesn't it?
It does.
And the Liverpool players just breaking away and going over to their supporters in the corner. But the banners hanging down, paying tribute to Pep Guardiola. We're going to have the remembrance ceremony in a moment or two as well. And on a dark, damp, dank Manchester afternoon in November, this has really lit it up, hasn't it?
Well, it has, because like you've said, they haven't held back. The banners were absolutely, it's been rolled up now. They're all being pulled to the front of the stand, all getting gathered by a team of people in black, so they're all nice and neat to be used again, I would imagine. Add a one onto that 1,000, they'll be used again. I just feel that these Man City fans really, they realise what they have and what they've had for the last 10 years is an absolute genius.
Yes, his 1000th match as a coach in league or cup, and his 550th with Manchester City. But there is serious business to be done before the play gets underway, because Pep Guardiola on this occasion is standing right now in the mouth of the tunnel, and he's standing shoulder to shoulder with the Liverpool manager Arne Slot. And on Remembrance Sunday, the two men, these two managers, these two great rivals, are going to walk forward now with two huge wreaths. Probably hundreds of poppies in that wreath that is being carried by Pep Guardiola and similarly by Arne Slot. And they walk forward and they place those wreaths on the grass. The players are gathered around the centre circle. They're applauding. There's a huge image of a poppy in the centre circle too. And now we will hear the reading of the Ode of Remembrance.
All the years come down. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them.
Quite a scene inside the Etihad Stadium, all around the hoardings, the fluttering poppies of the Royal British Legion, players wearing poppies on their shirts, also on the corner flags today. You might have been watching the coverage of the ceremony at the Cenotaph this morning, or indeed the BBC coverage of the Royal Festival of Remembrance last night. 80 years on since the end of World War II. and well remembered. So Dion Dublin, we're about ready for it now. Manchester City against Liverpool. Today is the day that the Premier League champions are visiting the Etihad Stadium. Manchester City against Liverpool. They're ready for kick-off for the 199th time in League and Cup. These are the clubs that have won the league between them in each of the last 8 seasons. But these are the clubs, as Chris Kavanagh blows the whistle and Liverpool kick off, these are the clubs that are trying to make up ground on the leaders, Arsenal, so they'll feel that they need to win this, both of them.
Yeah, and I don't think it's a day for a manager to say, let's just see what happens, let's sit in, let's absorb. I just believe it's a let's see what we can go and get by doing it by ourselves. Don't wait for mistakes, make it happen.
Just going to wait and see how things settle down for Manchester City in terms of where exactly Shirky is playing at the moment. He's playing in a withdrawn position. Doku also centrally, and Doku sets off with the ball now as listeners to the BBC's World Service join us here for this great occasion in the Premier League. Doku's still going down the right flank, gets the cross in, but 2 Liverpool players went with him all the way, and they were able to block the cross out for a throw-in down the right. Dion Dublin.
Yeah, Doku just being very positive, as you would expect down the right-hand side, just trying to get an end product there. Gets blocked in the end, but a positive start down the right-hand side from Doku.
Manchester City attacking from left to right, so attacking the newly expanded, or defending the newly expanded north stand. The top tier of that is not yet in use, but it won't be long, increasing the capacity of the Etihad Stadium. I think it's dry at the moment, but there's probably rain in the air, and the ball is at the back with the 2 Manchester City central defenders, Diaz and Gvardiol. Stones is back on the bench, and it does appear, doesn't it, Dion, that Shirky is playing in a central position, so he's going to be in the thick of the action as City go back towards the edge of the box.
Yeah, and he'll be looking for the ball at every opportunity, as will Bernardo Silva as well, Gonzalez. They'll all want to get on the ball, they'll all want to feel of the ball. And I would imagine as well, you can just see Foden just in and around that tempo, just trying to make things happen. His head's on the swivel. He's looked about 10 times since I've been talking to you, John. Who's behind me? Who's behind me?
Yeah, it's a classic. For his 1000th match, it's a very classic Pep Guardiola fluid formation. Bernardo Silva in a deep-lying position, and then Doku and Foden and Shirky quite narrow in the central area behind Haaland. And Absolutely. As we said in the build-up to the game, it looks as though Mateus Nunes and O'Reilly, there's going to be a great deal loaded on the full-backs to push forward from those positions. So it is Manchester City 0, Liverpool 0, and City lots and lots of early possession as the ball is chipped forward towards Shirky, but Liverpool are able to win it back now. And the Manchester City supporters trying to do their bit, responding to the Liverpool fans, as Robertson and Liverpool now, Dion, are going to enjoy a feel of the ball as well, I think, in the same manner as Manchester City.
Yeah, just trying to have a feel of it, see what City do. Are they going to squeeze us? Are they going to sit back? Are they going to go in the mid-block, low block? Just feeling each other out at the moment.
Manchester City with O'Reilly, who is tripped, and he is sent flying to the ground as Gravenberch comes in with the challenge, but referee Kavanagh very calmly gives a free kick. That's all, 10 yards inside the Liverpool half.
Yeah, O'Reilly being positive, just coming from the left on the inside there, trying to get into the centre of Liverpool's pitch. Gravenberch just stopping him in his tracks, sticks a leg out, the ball's gone past him, sticks a leg out and says, one of you's got to go by, and it's not you.
So Manchester City just take it back into their own half. Well, so much so far for going all out for goals. This is a very, very patient start to the match. Lots of respect being shown. Ball chipped forward by Mateus Nunes, but then just cleared away downfield, and it's allowed to bounce out of play for a throw-in to the home side, halfway inside their own half. It's all over in the WSL, the 2:30 kickoff. Betty Glover.
Everton 1, City 2 at full-time. Dominant start by City, who took the lead through Miedema, but a brilliant response by Everton took them level. Kelly Gago, fabulous goal, her 4th in 3 games before Bunny Shaw produced City's winner in the second half, a header at the near post to send them to the top of the WSL table. Everton 1, City 2.
So there we are for Manchester City, a win for the women in the Super League, 0-0 for the men in the very early stages here against Liverpool. We'll bring you more reaction to the earlier 4 matches in the Premier League, and we'll keep you up to date with those scores in the Premiership in Scotland as well that are currently underway. But Doku now looking down the left for O'Reilly. O'Reilly's cross into the box, Konate away, Doku is onto that first inside the box, still going, trying to find a way through. It's deflected across, but McAllister was there and was able to turn and wallop it right-footed out of play near the halfway line. That's the first serious intent, Dion.
Yeah, it is, and that's Doku. We just seen him go down the right, taking on Robertson. Now he's on the left, doing exactly the same thing. I think he's going to be the one that City are looking forward to get on the ball as much as possible, just through his sheer pace and directness. Ekitike
gets a touch on the halfway line, but Liverpool go all the way back towards the central defenders. So ran you through the Manchester City starting lineup. Liverpool with Mamadashvili in goal, Bradley, Konate, Van Dijk and Robertson. So Robertson again preferred at left back. Then in midfield, Gravenberch with McAllister and Szoboszlai, Salah on the right, Wirtz on the left, and Ekitike through the middle. And Gakpo and Isak among the substitutes. Manchester City playing the ball out just in front of where Pep Guardiola is standing here, and actually Liverpool win it back from Mateus Nunes. Here is Wirtz now down the right-hand side, still looking for his first goal in a Liverpool shirt, but he's lost possession and Manchester City play it calmly away. A lovely touch in there from Nico Gonzalez to find Foden. Now Liverpool have to get back because Manchester City are motoring, and Doku plays it through, and Foden couldn't get the touch on the edge of the box that might, if he had, have taken him beyond Van Dijk and in on goal, but he wasn't able to.
No, I think the problem there, I mean, Wirtz is giving the ball up far too easy. I know he's outnumbered, but you've got to try and keep hold of the ball, make sure that you're secure with it. He gave the ball away far too easy. And then you've got sky blue shirts absolutely flooding forward there. The ball from Doku is a bit heavy for Foden, but that's what they'll do. They'll get the ball back and they will attack, because the big man, Haaland, is not coming back at all.
Given away by Liverpool. O'Reilly is able to play it out towards the left-hand side. Bernardo Silva with the cross, but there's no one there in sky blue in the middle, and Mamadashvili can just scamper forward out of his 6-yard box and gather the ball into his shirt. We have a choice of listening right now, as is almost always the case on 5 Live at the weekend. So the big Premier League match right now, Manchester City 0, Liverpool 0, here on 5 Live. Here's a ball forward for Salah to chase into the area. Diaz is struggling there, but Salah just with a toe poke got to it. I think almost at the same time as Diaz took the pace off the ball, and goalkeeper Donnarumma was able to come out and gather.
Yeah, I think it's something Liverpool should do. You know, you can play a couple of short passes, turn City. They're quite high. They're only a couple of yards from the halfway line, so turn them. Let's see what they're like, chasing back towards their own goal with Ekitike flying and Salah flying.
Liverpool again go back to Konate and Van Dijk. So right now on Sports Extra 2, there is commentary on the Autumn International between Wales and Argentina, so that is via the BBC Sounds app, and shortly coverage will begin on Sports Extra of the Sao Paulo Grand Prix. But let's get an update from Wales-Argentina from Cardiff with Owain Gwynedd.
Yes, Wales 21, Argentina 38. Jack Morgan with a third try for Wales. A 5-metre tap and go, crashing over. Ollie Cracknell is on for his first Wales cap, and Lewis Rhys-Zambis is back in a Welsh shirt and already looking sharp and showing his pace. And Argentina are going to score under the sticks, interception, and it's a try, a 6 for Argentina. Wales 21, Argentina 43.
McAllister with a foul. Doku's won the ball back. This is a real opening. Oh, he's been tripped. Doku goes down. Still the ball rattling around. And Manchester City are saying surely that must be a penalty for the challenge on Doku, who had wriggled free. He got away from Mamadashvili. He seemed to be caught. He went sprawling down. And it has not been given as a penalty. Pep Guardiola has gone to the 4th official, Sam Barrett, and he is pleading. The Manchester City players are all standing, palms apart, and Chris Kavanagh is saying, wait. The ball's out of play for a throw. The referee is saying, wait, while VAR have a look at this. And surely it is, isn't it?
I'm thinking, John, that the keeper has just... Oh,
wow.
Yeah, he catches him on... I think the slide of the keeper, slide of his knee.
They're immediately bringing Chris Kavanagh to the side of the pitch. I mean, the contact is minimal.
It is minimal, but the way that
minimal.
Doku falls down isn't a false fall. It's not a fall that he would have made without contact. There is contact, knee onto toe, whether it's enough to bring him down like he has, but it doesn't look like a fall that's trying to get a penalty to me. I think that's contact on the knee.
Well, this is an interesting discussion between Chris Kavanagh and Michael Oliver, who's been involved in controversy in this fixture before in the past. Michael Oliver is at Stockley Park, and the conversation must be Chris Kavanagh feels that the contact was either negligible or minimal and didn't justify the reaction from Doku, whereas Michael Oliver is saying you need to come and have a look at this.
Yeah, I'm thinking, I've seen it a few times now, I'm thinking, yes, the contact is minimal. There is contact on his left toe. Doku does try to stay on his feet and strike the ball, but the contact's enough to make his standing foot not be able to stand as he wants.
Here comes Chris Kavanagh.
It will be a penalty.
Here he comes. He's telling the Liverpool players to move away. It's got all of the body language that it will be a penalty. There's the rectangle in the air. We'll hear the announcement.
Goalkeeper creates a foul challenge.
And there we have it. The penalty is awarded. Right decision, Dion?
Well, under the laws of the game now, yes, it is. Because I think Doku has gone down in a way that says he's enough contact. Now Virgil van Dijk's holding on to the ball.
Virgil van Dijk won't give Manchester City the ball. And Ruben Diaz is having to persuade him to give it back. Meanwhile, Conor Bradley was over there near the penalty spot, but Bernardo Silva had his eyes on Conor Bradley and has been trying to protect the penalty spot itself. This is all in the end to our right, so it's near the Liverpool supporters. We've got General milling around, and the referee now is right in the middle of that and is instructing. Well, he's more than instructing, he's ordering the players to leave the penalty area and leave it to the penalty taker. Now, Erling Haaland has not yet, for all of his goals this season, 18 for Manchester City, he's not yet scored from the penalty spot. And his record is average, as we know, against Liverpool. 2 goals in 6 appearances, which by his standards is light. But here we are, in the 12th minute, moving into the 13th minute. This is the golden opportunity, the glorious opportunity for Manchester City to take the lead against the champions. Left-footed Haaland, it's saved! Down to his left by Mamadashvili, who has got a pedigree of saving penalties, and he's kept this one out from Haaland, and it's out for a throw, and it remains 0-0.
That's a really good save, you know. Mamadashvili there is an absolute, launched himself to his left. I mean, everybody stopped at the moment. What they've stopped for, I don't know.
Might be having a look to see if there's encroachment, possibly into the area, or possibly off his line.
Off his line, I think it might be.
By Mamadashvili.
He made that look very easy, John, that save. Well, it's not the keeper. It's not the keeper at all. That's a great save.
Yeah, it's play continues. Penalty save was valid. Down to his left.
Absolutely. Yeah. Really good penalty save. It was a good penalty. It's going into the side netting. Keeper's left, but the keeper's actually just read it. It's probably on his water bottle.
But big Mamadashvili got down to keep out big Haaland, and that is a big save, a big moment. Manchester City 0, Liverpool 0, 5 live from the BBC, also on the World Service. That's Mamadashvili, the highly rated Mamadashvili, the Georgian goalkeeper. Remember him, the feats that he produced at Euro 2024 last year. Well, in the La Liga last season, he saved 3 penalties. Now he's saved his first penalty for Liverpool on a stage like this as well, 0-0.
Yeah, and you know, I mean, the noise levels have just gone up again now because of that save. Liverpool fans are making their noise over in the corner, off to our right-hand side. And Virgil van Dijk was the one that went straight to him as well, as if to say, right, I held on to the ball just to mess them up a bit. It seemed to work.
So that is Dion Dublin, Premier League Golden Boot winner, England international, and already we've had drama here after that tame start to the match, the very respectful start to the match. It burst into life with that moment, VAR getting involved as well. Michael Oliver The penalty being awarded. Here's the man who won it, Doku, playing it through, but a little slip on the edge of the box from Bernardo Silva. And as Van Dijk tried to take the ball away, Bernardo Silva was up trying to challenge for it and sent Van Dijk spiralling down onto the ground inside his own penalty area, and the Liverpool fans are up in arms for that. Van Dijk on his feet, Bernardo Silva goes across to him. He went flying through the air, Van Dijk.
Yeah, I mean, he got caught by Bernardo Silva, but I mean, at 6'5", 6'6", and 16.5 stone, I would expect him just to get up and crack on, and he has as well. Bernardo Silva went straight over, offered his hand, and the game continues, and that's how you play the game. Physical contact, take it, get on with it.
So, there we are, lively already. Things to discuss already on 6:06 later. Once we wrap things up here, Robbie Savage and Chris Sutton will be taking your calls, and we'll let you know on 5 Live at half-time when the lines are open. Here is Diaz at the back for Manchester City, who I think are in the groove now again. They've won 4 of their last 5 matches in the Premier League, either side of that defeat against Aston Villa last month, as Van Dijk's actually sent the ball goalwards from inside his own half, sent it high over the top down the middle, and Donnarumma just had to make sure as he moved back into position and caught the ball. And Liverpool, who after their recent struggles, much needed victories, the 2 wins in the last week, both with clean sheets, and also beating Real Madrid at Anfield, which will have done wonders for confidence. But Liverpool probably needed that. They needed their goalkeeper there.
Yeah, they did. They did. I mean, like you said, John, both sides have come out just trying to keep it respectfully, trying to figure out the way forward with their opposite number. I mean, this rivalry has been created by the 2 football clubs of late, and it's begun to get stronger and stronger. Liverpool very deep. Don't seem to be following the ball up the pitch, the back 4 of Liverpool.
Yep, still 0-0. Just had an excellent Formula 1 style headphone replacement by Owain, our engineer, while you were talking, Dion.
Stealth there.
Yeah, he was in, other one's off, other one's on, plugged in,
2 seconds that
2
was.
seconds. The paddle's gone up, and we're off again. Manchester City 0, Liverpool 0. And Gvardiol, the heavily bearded Gvardiol, seems to get darker and heavier with every week that goes by. Plays it forward. Now out to Doku. Doku running at Bradley. Bradley. In goes the ball. Chance in the middle. Shirky with a shot. But it's deflected on its way over the top. He runs his fingers through his hair. Ryan Shirky. That was a close thing, but deflected over. Corner.
Yeah, Doku again, to be fair. Shirky just finds his way into the box, unmarked as well. Just his first touch lets him down. It just gets away from him. First touch on the end of the... Just inside the box. Gets away from him with his right foot, and then it gets deflected away. In-swinging corner from Foden.
Yeah, Manchester City, who are the only team yet to score from a set-piece in the Premier League this season, and it comes from Foden, headed away by Konate, and then headed back goalwards, but wide of the mark, and actually behind as well by Diaz for a goal kick. So another noteworthy attempt by Manchester City from Shirky. Thought Savinho did well on Wednesday night, particularly in the first half against Borussia Dortmund, but I think the likelihood was always that Shirky would come in to start this match, and I suppose the way that Pep Guardiola wants to play it as well, as we've seen now with those players in the narrow areas, explains as well why Shirky has been given the nod as Liverpool are able to win it back. Here is Bradley, who had that excellent game against Vinicius on Tuesday night, going all the way back towards the edge of his own penalty area with the penalty-saving Mamadashvili. Celtic Kilmarnock, Kenny Crawford.
Half-time, John. Celtic 1, Kilmarnock 0. Johnny Kenny's 10th minute tap-in, separating the sides at the moment, the 5th of the season for the Irish striker, 22 years old. But Kilmarnock did scare Celtic halfway through that first half. Bruce Anderson hitting the top of the post with a half volley. Celtic 1, Kilmarnock 0.
Wirtz bringing the ball forward. Now here's Ekitike on the left-hand side for Liverpool. Yet to really put Donnarumma under any pressure at all. Robertson, then back to McAllister. And the man who scored the winning goal against Real Madrid, McAllister, has a look forward but goes back into the centre circle to the tall Konate. Now it's out to the right-hand side to Salah. Excellent goal-scoring record against Manchester City. 13 goals in 22 appearances for Salah against this opposition, as Liverpool again go back towards Konate in the centre circle. Konate under no pressure there, 0-0 if you've just switched on here. Pep Guardiola back in his black hoodie after he was wearing his suit for the Champions League on Wednesday night. Hands in his pockets, watching Van Dijk pass it across towards Konate, and now out towards the right-hand side where Bradley sends one over the top for Salah to chase. O'Reilly has gone there with him. Salah plays it back to Gravenberg. Gravenberg has a look. Salah receives it. Salah now, Manchester City players in sky blue in a line in front of him. So Liverpool have to go back again towards the halfway line. Arsenal 6 points clear of Chelsea at the top of the table. Ball into the box again. Just a glance by Szoboszlai. Then headed forward by Bradley. Headed away for Manchester City. Bounces down and Bernardo Silva is able to receive possession of the ball and actually just plants it out of play. Just relieves the pressure.
Yeah, he knew that his team were under pressure a little bit. Bernardo Silva, the referee's pulled it back. So O'Reilly's down, I think, far side.
After that little tussle with Salah.
With Salah, yeah. I mean, he's so strong, Salah. You know, to try and get. He's only short, but his stature and his low centre of gravity. We've seen it so many times. Bigger players trying to get the ball. You just can't do it. He's just incredibly strong, incredibly knowledgeable where he wants the ball. Brilliant.
I think he might be struggling here, Dion. And Ait Nouri's been sent to warm up, and he's sitting on his bottom, just outside the penalty area, and he's just got that facial expression, which suggests to me that he might be struggling. Named in the England squad again by Thomas Tuchel on Friday. He was an unused substitute in the two matches last month, the World Cup qualifiers, and as a 20-year-old who's left back, as we know, is not his first position to play up against Salah. That's a challenge.
It is, but you never know it's not his position. He's done so well whenever he's been asked upon to play in that position. And he's not, he hasn't got off the floor as yet. 2 physios are on there.
It sounds like there might be a few changes to that England squad, actually. So as they continue to check on the status of O'Reilly, Arne Slot has come out in his raincoat, his Macintosh, black Mac, to the edge of the area. He's pointing this way and the other. And yes, we heard Mark Gay not playing for Crystal Palace today. Nick Pope went off injured after being recalled to the England squad in place of James Trafford, who's on the bench for Manchester City. Dan Burn being sent off, so we might see some changes to that England squad. O'Reilly is just on his feet, and now the rain has blown in again. We've got a heavy shower of Manchester rain sweeping across the east of the city here and into the Etihad Stadium. And he's walking off on the far side of the pitch, which suggests he will initially at least come back on.
Yeah, you know what? I don't think, having seen the replay, I don't think it was a contact injury. He's gone to block across and he's stopped himself. And I think it's a right knee or right leg issue. He's just tried to jog there a little bit, and I don't know if he's going to come back on, you know.
Just waiting to see if Ait Nouri is going to get the beckoning finger from Pep Guardiola. O'Reilly still just testing it out there. He looks as though he wants to come back on and give it a go. It is 0-0, Manchester City 0, Liverpool 0, and the main news so far, we are halfway through the first half, and it was Erling Haaland's penalty saved by Mamadashvili to keep it at 0-0 as O'Reilly comes back onto the field, and then there's a collision involving Gvardiol and Salah, and that is given as a free kick against the Liverpool man for Manchester City, and they'll have a free kick in front of their own penalty area. So aside from the incident around the penalty and the attempt from Shirky, it's been quite subdued.
Yeah, it has. Most of the football's being played in the centre of the pitch, lots of lovely little triangles and stuff. One thing I have noticed as a centre forward is Haaland. He's saying to Foden, stay closer to me, don't go too far away, stay close, because he's got McAllister and Gravenberg on his toes. They're not moving at all.
Mamadashvili under pressure from Haaland, plays the ball out to Robertson. I'm not sure he kept it in. No, he didn't. The assistant has flagged. Dan Cook is the assistant on this side of the ground, and he got applause from Pep Guardiola for getting that right. So a little miscalculation from Robertson means it's a throw into Manchester City. How's O'Reilly looking over there on the far side? Seems okay as Manchester City take the throw and win another one on the halfway line. Pep Guardiola comes forward and he's just pointing at Doku and Haaland. seems to be sending them further forward as Nico Gonzalez, and the continued absence of Rodri, who's not involved today. Rodri, not in the team, not on the substitutes bench. Now Gonzalez, turning the ball here to the right-hand side. Bernardo Silva is going to take this on down the right flank, but Liverpool drop back into position. And then Doku comes short. So there's only O'Reilly out there on the left-hand side, but Manchester City come down the right again with Foden, Bernardo Silva, and Mateus Nunes are very close to one another. Then Shirky plays it to the edge of the box. Gravenberch blocked that, and then the final touch from Bernardo Silva, and it's out of play for a throw-in to Liverpool in their own left-back position. We are heading back to Dundee. Gavin Wallace.
For a third goal for Rangers, John. Great one from Gassama. Cuts inside, edge of the box with the inside of the right foot, goes for the top bin, the top far end corner, and that will put the icing on the cake. Dundee 0, Rangers 3.
So Rangers winning 3-0. That's a 3 o'clock kickoff. The leaders' Hearts are still 1-1 with Dundee United. Still Aberdeen 1, Motherwell 1. And Celtic in the 4 o'clock kickoff are 1-0 up on Kilmarnock, as we heard from Kenny Crawford. Half-time in this match, we'll have more reaction from the earlier games. Good win for one of your old clubs, Aston Villa. Dion 4-0 against Bournemouth. That's an excellent result. Brentford winning 3-1 against Newcastle. Crystal Palace 0, Brighton 0. Nottingham Forest 3, Leeds 1. Manchester City on the move. O'Reilly to Doku. Doku takes on Bradley. Bradley goes to ground. Still Doku. Turns onto his left foot. Shoots. And Mamadashvili diving to his right. Just palmed it around the post. Just had to drop down to deflect it around. Excellent play from Doku, though.
Yeah, I mean, Liverpool scrambling there. As soon as that ball goes down the left-hand side to Doku there, you can see Gravenberch, he's absolutely sprinting over there to help Bradley out. They don't want Doku one-on-one with anybody with that pace. Another bit of end product as well, another corner.
Super turn and shot. So here's the corner. It's a deep one from Bernardo Silva. Konate goes up, heads it out. Doku, far side of the penalty area. It's got Gravenberch right there next to him. Brings the ball down, finds its way to Foden. Foden trying to find a position, but Salah dispossesses him. And then he in turn is dispossessed by Diaz. And Manchester City find Doku on the right flank this time. He's up against Gravenberch. Little swivel of the hips. A jink from him, tried to play it through the legs, took a deflection, and Liverpool are able to bring it away, play it away with Wirtz, who was actually tugged over by Bernardo Silva, or was it Diaz? The two of them were either side of Wirtz. It depends who got the touch, and I think that card was,
I think it's Gonzalez
directed at
I think it was Gonzalez. It was, yeah. I think Wirtz actually a nice little bit of work from Wirtz. He put the ball between Bernardo Silva and Gonzalez, and he put himself through there, that little gap as well, and just got pulled back by his shirt by Gonzalez.
Actually, they were both pulling him back. It could have been either, but Liverpool then move it forward quickly, looking to Ekitike on the edge of the penalty area. It's cleared away to O'Reilly. Seems to have shaken off that knock. Salah is being as physical as he can against the youngster, the 20-year-old O'Reilly, who's able to work it away, not out of play. Foden helps him out, and Manchester City have played their way out of a very tight hole down there in the left-back area. And now Gonzalez drifts forward, looks for a 1-2 with Shirky. Lovely play. And then Gonzalez, now to Mateus Nunes, who's breaking away down the right. Haaland's in the middle. Mateus Nunes, though, waits, and that means Liverpool are now all back in position. Hence, I think the groans of disappointment from the Manchester City supporters that you could hear here in the pouring rain. 0-0 the score. And Diaz, Shirky, all on the right flank. Mateus Nunes just waiting, and then little ball in field to Shirky. Gonzalez, and Gvardiol's able to, he has time there to actually put his left foot on the ball. Then it's worked again towards the right-hand side. Mateus Nunes, here's the cross, looking for Haaland, heads it in! 1-0 Manchester City! Super header from Haaland. Defender was with him, he was just too big! And he cushioned it perfectly back across goal. Mamadashvili could only stand and watch as it dropped into the top corner. A kung fu kick on the corner flag. It's Haaland for the 19th time for Manchester City this season. And they lead the champions by 1-0. I
mean, the cross from Nunes is absolutely fantastic. I mean, the way that he heads the ball on the far post, he beats everybody. I'm not sure who doesn't jump in front of Haaland, but what happened is Virgil van Dijk was playing left back for about 30 seconds while City had the ball. He was in the left back position, and then when the ball went over to the left-hand side of City, he tried to go back into the centre, and Andy Robertson didn't get out to the left-hand side quick enough. Therefore, the ball out to Núñez. He had an extra bit of time. Cross was outstanding. Haaland just loops it into the far post. He just gets above Konate. Konate does try to get up, but it's just the strength and the timing of Haaland, the ball, the quality, and the unorganisation of Liverpool at the back.
So it's Erling Haaland, and it's Manchester City 1, Liverpool 0. Liverpool beat Manchester City home and away last season. They've not forgotten that, and that's why the Etihad now sounds like this. Ball out for a goal kick for Manchester City, and the full-time whistle has gone at Tynecastle. Jane Lewis.
Hearts 1, Dundee United 1 at 1-1. This second half was absolutely breathless. Both teams went looking for the winner. Dundee United had 2 goals ruled out for offside. The draw means that Hearts are still unbeaten in the league. Their lead has, though, been cut to 7 points, although Celtic are still playing against Kilmarnock. That could change. This was a pulsating one. It finished here. Hearts 1, Dundee United 1.
Manchester City on the attack. Haaland had almost opened up from again. He fed Doku, but Doku's cross was gathered up by Mamadashvili. Manchester City winning 1-0. Wirtz now is going to try a shot, but he was quickly closed down by Gonzalez, and the ball was deflected away back to the halfway line. It has also finished Dundee 0, Rangers 3, and more full-time scores to come. It was Aberdeen 1, Motherwell 1 last we heard. And that indeed remains the case, and the full-time whistle has gone. Still Celtic 1, Kilmarnock 0 at half-time. 1-0 low to Manchester City. Pep Guardiola's 1,000th match in management is going as he hoped it would. And also Erling Haaland has marked it with his 99th Premier League goal, and what a header. Rose high above Konate to nod it back in. You'd have been proud of that one, Dion.
Yeah, he makes it look easy. He really does. And I've said this many times about Haaland. It's his preparation, it's his movement. He's in front of Konate, then he goes behind Konate. Konate has to have half an eye on the ball, half an eye on the player. As soon as you look at the ball as a defender, then someone like Haaland just makes his move out the eye line of the defender. Really strong, lovely meeting of the ball with his head. Far corner, keeper had no chance.
Foul on Shirky on the halfway line. Manchester City didn't like that one. Shirky's been left on the ground, clutching his lower leg. I think he's okay, as Haaland came in on him from behind and caught Shirky. And the Manchester City players have made the point. Full-time whistle in Cardiff. Owain Gwynedd.
Wales 28, Argentina 52. Steve Tandy's tenure as Wales head coach begins with defeat. Wales will rue a slow start to both halves, along with a sloppy end to the first, conceding 7 tries in all. Although Wales' defensive frailties, Wales showed plenty of edge in attack, scoring 4 tries and entertaining the crowd. Rhys Zammit looking quick when he came on, but captain Jack Morgan suffered a bad shoulder injury. Wales 28, Argentina 52.
Coverage of the Sao Paulo Grand Prix continues on Sports Extra here on 5 Live and the World Service. Manchester City winning 1-0 against Liverpool, and it is Manchester City. We've seen little really of Liverpool in an attacking sense in these opening 33-34 minutes. Bernardo Silva on the ball. Manchester City players were kind of suggesting, weren't they, to referee Kavanagh, that might have been worth a yellow card for Van Dijk. What do you think?
Possibly not. I don't think so. They'll want yellow cards for everybody in red, those City players. But I just think City have now got comfortable with the ball at their feet in this particular game. They're getting the ball to Doku as much as possible.
That was a mistake, though, on the far side. Gvardiol, Doku gave it to him, couldn't keep it in, so it's a throw into Liverpool halfway inside the Manchester City half on the far side. Manchester City coming into this 7 points behind the leaders Arsenal. Liverpool a further point behind, so an 8-point gap. I mean, it's plenty of time, Dion. It's November, of course.
Absolutely.
Plenty of time. You know, those leads can disappear in no time. And I was reminded how Arsenal lost a 5-point lead that they had back in 2013, 2014, when they were in a seemingly commanding position and in the end ended up in 4th place. It can change so quickly. It can change in the course of a week, anytime during the season. As Mamadashvili, long and left-footed, plays the ball downfield. Alexander Isak out to warm up. Dion with the Liverpool substitutes as Manchester City win a free kick halfway inside their own half.
Yeah, plays on the shoulder, doesn't he? Isak, he might be the one that will just force those City players to stay a little bit deeper because they won't want the space in behind because of his pace. So yeah, it may look to change it. Not quite yet, though. Not quite yet.
So a free kick that Manchester City take. Pep Guardiola would absolutely take this scoreline at half-time. And now into the last 10 minutes of the first half, and the ball out of play for a throw into Manchester City, who are now in the ascendancy, in no hurry. Let's get an update from the Grand Prix from Harry Benjamin.
Yeah, chaotic start here. Lando Norris, though, leads Antonelli and Charles Leclerc. Lewis Hamilton has got damage with a front wing broken. Gabriel Bortoleto, the Brazilian driver at his home race, is out of this one too. Safety car conditions, field neutralised. Norris with the advantage.
Yellow card for Alexis McAllister for a challenge on Doku inside his own half. So McAllister booked.
Yeah, I mean, Doku just receiving his ball at his feet. He stopped the ball between his feet and just moved it to his right, knowing full well there's a challenge coming in at some stage. And McAllister's got no chance of reaching him with that kind of pace and thought.
Nicely played, Manchester City again. They're finding the space here. Doku central, but that's a poor pass, actually. Trying to give it out to Mateus Nunes, the man who set up the opening goal for Erling Haaland. And Liverpool are back in possession inside their own half. Seen very little of Szoboszlai so far in the match after his performance the other night. And, you know, a titanic performance from Liverpool. And you always wonder, don't you, that win against Real Madrid, the energy and everything that takes, whether that does have a knock-on effect. And he's named an unchanged team.
Yeah, whether it's, you know, it's not just physical as well, it's mental, it's concentration, it's all the above.
At the same time, I can absolutely understand him wanting the continuity and the confidence to from that, as Mateus Nunes is able to play it away after challenge by Robertson. So throw in to Liverpool. Robertson to take this back to Szoboszlai. Hair even longer than it was last time I saw him live. Rather lank in the rain with the headband. Long ball right across field for Salah. Salah up against O'Reilly, quick feet, and then prods it into the Manchester City defender, and it bounces straight behind for a corner to Liverpool.
Yeah, that diagonal, we normally see Virgil van Dijk play that diagonal to Salah. It kind of works because it means that City have got to get across to the other side of the pitch to try and put a 2-on-1 on Salah. It wasn't a 2-on-1 and Salah gets 1-on-1. That's when it's dangerous.
Corner then for Liverpool, who have grouped 6 players together just on the edge of the area in the D, and then they all begin to wander forward into position, most of them heading towards the back post. Salah is going to take this. Right arm raised from Mo Salah, away over there on the far side. Then the left-footed ball curls in over Konate, and it's headed in! It's Van Dijk with the equaliser! A simple header! 6 yards out, picked his spot. Donnarumma diving to his left, couldn't get there. And the Liverpool captain makes it Manchester City 1, Liverpool 1, but the flag is raised. And the goal is ruled out. And Liverpool are still celebrating. Liverpool are still celebrating. Manchester City wanted to take the free kick and play it downfield. But the referee is just calling everyone across. And Van Dijk is demanding to know why that goal has been ruled out, Dion.
Maybe it's Andy Robertson, maybe.
What, impeding the
Yeah,
goalkeeper?
well, he's in an offside position. He may have been in the eye line. I don't think he's in the eye line of Donnarumma, but he is in an offside position, most definitely. But he's not impeding the eye line of Donnarumma. Absolutely no way at all. Robertson ducks out the way of the ball as it goes past him. Yes, he's in an offside position, but it doesn't affect that goal I don't believe that. I'm very, very surprised.
Yeah, the goal is ruled out. The goal is ruled out. The fact is, Dion, he was standing directly in the line of Van Dijk's header.
I don't think he was, John. I don't think he was. I'm seeing it in front of me here. If anybody's in his eye line, it's Doku. I've seen it 2 or 3 times now. The only person that could be in his eye line is Doku. Yes, Robertson is in an offside position, granted, but he's not in the eye line.
So Donnarumma on the line. Robertson standing to his left. There's a defender there as well. And Van Dijk getting up, heading it in from an angle, heads it to Donnarumma's left, but it's over the head of Robertson. But you're saying, quite rightly, and I think that's what Ahmad Slot is saying as well on the side of the pitch to the fourth official, making exactly that point. And now Doku gets away down the other end. Doku cuts it back. Foden couldn't get there. McAllister got there first to chip it away out of play on the far side. So it is still Manchester City 1, Liverpool 0, with less than 5 minutes of the first half to go. But controversy there at the other end.
Yeah, I think the officials have got that one wrong. I really do. I don't know why they're saying it's no goal. We haven't had that information yet. If it's because Andy Robertson is in the eye line of Donnarumma, I can't see that myself. If he's in an offside position, yeah, he's in an offside position, but he's not affecting the keeper saving that ball. It's just a very good header. It's a very, very good corner, and I think it's a very good goal.
So there we are. Another major talking point as Van Dijk's header is ruled out. He headed it over the top of the ducking Robertson, dropped into the net. Donnarumma diving to his left, couldn't get there. And now Wirtz has been fouled by Shirky, and that is a yellow card for the Manchester City man. So a second yellow for City. Shirky joining Gonzalez in the referee's notebook.
I think that was Silva, John, you know.
Oh, was it Bernardo Silva?
I think, yeah, because they were stood together, both stood together, but I think it was given to Silva.
Well spotted. So Manchester City leading by 1 goal to 0. McAllister drives it forward towards the halfway line. O'Reilly stops that. Ball bounces forward. Salah, who looked to be in an offside position. Salah takes it forward now. Finds a position on the edge of the box, across to Wirtz. Wirtz turns, his shot is blocked. Still finds its way, though, to Ekitike. Now McAllister, little dink from him into the penalty area, but Gvardiol heads it down, and it's cleared away by Foden into the Liverpool half. Mamardashvili, if you weren't listening earlier, Mamardashvili saved the Haaland penalty. And here Mamardashvili clears it out of play for a throw on the far side to Manchester City. But Erling Haaland heading Manchester City in front. Liverpool thought they were level through the Van Dijk header. That ruled out. VAR, Michael Oliver, ruling, along with referee Kavanagh, that Andy Robertson in an offside position was interfering with play. City still coming forward. Gonzalez trying the shot, that's deflected off the defender, off Konate, takes it wide and behind for a corner to Manchester City. Back to Celtic, Kenny Crawford.
53 minutes gone, Celtic 2, Kilmarnock 0, a hugely popular goal. Kieran Tierney's first since returning to the club, a fantastic low swerving strike into the corner. Celtic 2, Kilmarnock 0.
2-0. We'll hear more from the earlier matches at half-time. Wins for Aston Villa and Brentford and Nottingham Forest. Draw between Crystal Palace and Brighton. So we'll hear from various characters on 5 Live, and doubtless the World Service as well at half-time in this match, which is approaching. Manchester City 1-0 up. Lots of talking points. Here's the corner. Attempted flick by Haaland, just hit his body, and then it bounces behind for what is a goal kick to Liverpool.
Yeah, just tries to help it on at the near post, gets too much on it. Haaland just goes out for a goal kick at present, but watching Doku here, I mean, every time City look up, they're just trying to get it to Doku. Bradley's looking for help every time, pulling Doku's shirt, Doku's pace. I mean, he had his hands on his knees for about 15 seconds as if to say, I'm shattered. I've done about 20 runs. Keep giving me the ball, lads, but I'm shattered.
Liverpool working their way forward. Robertson turns, plays it back to Van Dijk. Long right-footed pass from Van Dijk, bounces for Salah. O'Reilly is tight with him, forces the Egyptian out towards the far side, and the flag is up there. Liverpool couldn't keep it in play. Wirtz and Salah together as the rain just increases in intensity again here. It's coming straight down now into the bowl of the Etihad Stadium, and it's a throw into Manchester City.
Yeah, I mean, the game's getting quicker, the ball's moving quicker over the slick grass. I don't think O'Reilly's right, by the way. I don't think he's quite right at the moment, and I don't think he will last a lot longer.
Manchester City clipping the ball away. Mateus Nunes. Van Dijk steps forward. Fortunate deflection of the ball. Keeps it for Liverpool. It's been quite an inhibited performance from Liverpool so far, hasn't it?
Yeah, they've been forced. They've been forced to think. They've been forced to find a way and to make mistakes like that from Konate, trying to play a ball from the centre of the pitch, centre of the circle, over to Robertson, who's flying down the left-hand side. He overhits it. That's just a little bit of pressure on his shoulders, bit of weight on the shoulders. They've got to start to perform, Liverpool, otherwise City will get another one.
Yeah, Haaland, the only man to find the net so far, or at least legally, if I can put it that way. So it comes back to Gvardiol, then Foden playing the ball right across the pitch here to the right-hand side to Mateus Nunes. It's a lovely cross that he put over for Haaland to head in. It was inviting, wasn't it? The cross that Haaland got up and judged perfectly. 7 minutes of added time at the end of this first half. Doku now, lovely carry of the ball, just moving from foot to foot and then playing it back, and now infield towards Gvardiol. Gvardiol drags it back, then passes a little ball so around the corner to O'Reilly, then back out to Doku, who's away over there on the far corner. Now to O'Reilly again. Lovely close passing from Manchester City, and it is deflected out of play for a Manchester City throw. Pep Guardiola was saying on Wednesday night that he felt that it was coming for Manchester City, the better form, and their recent run certainly does suggest that, having won their last 3 matches in 3 different competitions, 6 of their last 7, other than that defeat against Aston Villa. Aston Villa, who with their win incidentally are now up to 7th place in the Premier League table after the 4-0 win against Bournemouth, as Manchester City pass it forward again. Diaz and then Foden. Here is Mateus Nunes, whips a ball infield. Shirky into the penalty area, still going very tight, takes it to the byline. Defenders there as well, and he tried to chip it across. It actually took a touch off Robertson and dropped into Mamadashvili's gloves. He then runs out to the edge of the penalty area and hurls himself forward. It was almost Higuita-like, his dive forward as he hurled it. But now it's coming back at Liverpool, taken forward by Bernardo Silva, carrying it to the edge of the area, then giving it to the right-hand side to Shirky. Quick steps from him. Shirky's ball across, hits Van Dijk, bounces behind, corner to Manchester City from the right.
Yeah, Liverpool are finding it difficult. They don't know where Bernardo Silva is. They don't know where Shirky is. It's just that movement as well in the middle of the park. Gonzalez is popping up in the 10 position as well. They're just rotating. All the positions are being filled by these City players, but Liverpool don't know who's there. It's just the movement of City at the moment. It's confusing Liverpool.
Yeah, that rain is annoying Shirky. Every time I see him, he's running his fingers through his hair. Wasn't like this in Lyon, was it? Foden plays it across. Haaland with a flick, but it's headed away at the back post. Comes out to Doku, takes it down. Doku, toe poke across the box, and then that's cleared away by Van Dijk, and that I think will bounce out. It does next to the corner flag. The Manchester City fans in that corner all applaud in unison. The Liverpool fans in their section next to the corner is taken short. Liverpool got everyone back inside their own penalty area as half-time approaches. Gonzalez now from distance shoots it. It's 2-0. Deflection took it down and wide at Mamadashvili, who couldn't get there. And it's 2-0 just before half-time. And Pep Guardiola, in his 1,000th match as a manager, has got the 2-goal advantage that he wanted before the break. And he turns towards us, punches up to the stands, big smile on his face. Even though he's absolutely soaked to the skin down there, he doesn't care. It's Manchester City 2, champions Liverpool 0.
Yeah, Liverpool switching off from the corner there. It was 3 versus 1. They played round the corner. Bernardo Silva just passes it on to Gonzalez. Gonzalez is now, he's about 5 yards away from the edge of Liverpool's box. It takes a nick off of Virgil van Dijk. I mean, he's in a good position, Virgil van Dijk, and he just takes a nick off his right heel. He just sort of swings his right heel out, his toes on the floor, swings his right heel out, and it's just enough to take it past Mamadashvili. 2-0 City.
Well, each of the matches last season finished 2-0 between these sides. Liverpool won them both. Today, Manchester City 2-0 up And Liverpool have got a lot to do here to avoid now what would be a 5th Premier League defeat of the season for the champions from 11 matches played. This was not how it was supposed to be for Arne Slot, who stands down there statue-like in the Manchester rain. And Pep Guardiola, you don't often see him as animated as that after a goal. To get that goal just before half-time, to get the lead, and the way that they've played as well, Manchester City, they've controlled it.
No, they have. Liverpool have had, a decent amount, but they haven't been able to put any passes together. They might do now, though, with Robertson down the left-hand side.
Yeah, it's become a matter of urgency already for Liverpool here. Robertson to Wirtz, but Wirtz trying to turn inside. Matheus Nunes got the better of him. Now Haaland under pressure from Van Dijk is still nevertheless able to find the ball out towards Doku. Doku, who has been a danger when he's run at the Liverpool defenders. Bradley, that's what he's doing now. He's gone round the outside of Bradley. Doku's still going. Bradley tackles back and does well, actually. I thought he'd gone there past him, but Bradley just got back to get a foot on it, put it behind for corner.
Yeah, I mean, Doku just waits for the fullback just to get comfortable, and then he just knocks the ball past Bradley 10 yards, and he's gone. His pace over 5 or 6 yards is kind of second to none with anybody on this pitch. I mean, I don't know how many corners City have had. It's got to be 5 or 6 already.
6 it is.
6 corners. Dangerous.
So this one is to be taken by Shirky. Way over there on the far side. Right-footed in towards the near post. Haaland comes, flicks it up, but straight behind and behind for a goal kick. So Erling Haaland and Nico Gonzalez. Big deflection that gave Mamadashvili no chance, really. The deviation on the ball, it sent it past him. So it is 2-0 to Manchester City. Manchester City trying to wrest back the title this season from Liverpool. As I said right at the start, the two clubs that have won it the last 8 seasons, 6 for Manchester City and 2 for Liverpool. We have been living through an era of Manchester City-Liverpool domination until Arsenal are in the position that they're in. But Manchester City will be, if they're able to carry this on and win this match, they will be putting pressure on Mikel Arteta and his team. Liverpool with it on the halfway line. But Manchester City working tremendously hard without the ball as well. Gravenberch drops back almost in between the central defenders. Here's Szoboszlai, who's been very quiet in the match. Wirtz, who's just flitted in and flitted out. Wirtz back to Gravenberch. And we are already 6 minutes into added time at the end of the first period, so the whistle only seconds away. Gravenberch chips it forward. Might be time for one more Liverpool attack. Gravenberch, though, angles it back. McAllister behind Robertson, and there is the half-time whistle, and that's the end of it. And that, for Manchester City, is just what they wanted. Pep Guardiola turns, head down, marches off down the tunnel, and he has a real perkiness about him. Ruben Diaz has just got something that he wants to say to the referee. Virgil van Dijk has gone, and Robertson. They're the two players who are involved. Seems pivotal now, doesn't it? The goal, the Liverpool goal that we thought at the time was an equaliser for Van Dijk, that was ruled out because Robertson was standing in an offside position, and they, the football world will be debating that over the course of the next 24 hours or so, almost non-stop, whether that goal should have been ruled out or not. It was ruled out. Still, Robertson talks away to Chris Kavanagh as they walk down the tunnel together. But there we are, Manchester City in Pep Guardiola's 1,000th match in charge. Erling Haaland scores his 99th Premier League goal. Nico Gonzalez makes it 2-0. And that's the picture here at the Etihad Stadium at half-time. 2-0 against Liverpool. And Steve Crossman is with us here inside the stadium.
John, Dion, thank you very much. Julian Laurent watching as well. This from the Premier League Match Centre. The referee's call of offside and no goal to Liverpool, checked and confirmed by VAR. Robertson in an offside position, deemed to be making an obvious action directly in front of the goalkeeper. So here I think, Jules, is my thought. Dion, bang on. Robertson not in his eye line, but as soon as the ball is coming towards you and you effectively dodge it in an offside position, that, it seems, is why it's been ruled out.
Yeah, and that's the rule, and I understand it, although, I mean, we're not here to rewrite the rules anyway, but Whether, for me, the fact that Robertson ducks and avoids the ball doesn't change anything in what Donnarumma would have done. It's like almost if Robertson was not there, but he was there in offside position. They basically applied the rule as it is written. I just think in this case it makes no sense to rule out the goal.
As it stands then, Manchester City would be going second in the Premier League table, 4 points behind Arsenal. Liverpool would be dropping to 7th because of Aston Villa's 4-0 victory over Bournemouth earlier today. Reaction on the way to the big stories in the Premier League. Celtic Kilmarnock in the Scottish Premiership. Kenny Crawford.
65 minutes gone, Celtic 2, Kilmarnock 0, so fairly comfortable for the hosts at the moment. Johnny Kenny's 10th minute tap-in was added to by Kieran Tierney's brilliant strike from just outside the box. His first goal since returning to Celtic from Arsenal in the summer. We picked it up 20 yards out and it swerved, and just where we were sitting here you could see the swerve in the shot as it found its way and nestled into the bottom right hand corner. So at the moment Celtic are going to cut Hearts' lead to 7 points at the top. It's Celtic 2, Kilmarnock 0.
Let's check in on what you can listen to right now on 5 Sports Extra. It is the crucial Sao Paulo Grand Prix. Harry Benjamin.
A brave, bold, beautiful move from Oscar Piastri into turn 1. Saw him run up to second place. He's now behind his teammate Lando Norris, but is adrift of him by nearly 3 seconds. Norris looks like he's got this one in control. That move, though, resulted in Charles Leclerc picking up damage and having to retire this car. One Ferrari out, the other Ferrari in Lewis Hamilton, plumb last, but lap 16 of 71. Still a way to go here. Piastri chasing Norris.
News on the way shortly. Let's bring you some Premier League reaction. Igor Thiago scored twice as Brentford came from behind to beat Newcastle 3-1. Eddie Howe's wait then for a first away win in the league this season goes on.
From getting ourselves in a really strong position and playing with really good dogged determination and physically very good. Not our best technical performance in both halves, but we were there and we were present when we needed to be. The second half got away from us really when we conceded that first goal.
You say it got away from you in the second half. Why do you think it did?
If you've got a 1-goal lead, you're on a bit of a knife edge because of how they play with the set plays and the long throws. It's a concentration thing. It's a attacking the ball thing. We were managing those situations really well, and one moment we don't. We get punished, and then of course the atmosphere changes, the feeling changes. But again, we're still in the game at 1-1. We're still there, and the penalty again changes, and the red card really impacts our ability then to try and get back in the game, despite the fact I think the players gave everything and were committed right to the end.
I suppose it's the million-dollar question, but in your opinion, what is the difference, at home and obviously this long run away from home without winning? Why?
Well, I think it's multi-factored. I don't think it's one thing. I don't think it's a click of the fingers and suddenly everything's changed. We are a new team. We've got new dynamics in the team. For whatever reason, that's not quite working as well away from home than it is at home. So we have a lot of reflection and analysis to do in the next 2 weeks to try and come back a stronger team.
Eddie Howe there speaking to John Southall. Howe also confirming that Anthony Gordon is going to miss England's World Cup qualifiers through injury. That was an injury that he picked up in the Champions League win against Athletic Bilbao. Brentford up to 12th after that victory. Here's defender Nathan Collins.
I thought we were solid. I thought we were decent first half. I did still think we were the better team without creating anything massive. But to turn that around, we always have faith here. We always have belief that we can go do something. And players we have on and off the pitch, the players we brought on, they can change games. And to have that and have that effect at home, it's good.
Just tell us a bit about Igor Thiago and the impact he's had on the pitch, but also around the place as well.
He had a tough season last season, you know what I mean, and it was really tough for him, but his belief didn't change, his faith, everything he believes in himself didn't change one bit. He was so positive every day, and honestly he works so hard, he does everything perfectly, and as a footballer it's unbelievable, and you can see why he gets the rewards. He's just overall just a really good person. I prefer that more than him being a good footballer, but he's just a really nice person.
And how do you assess it now? We've come to the international break, 11 games gone. How do you assess where you are?
I think we're similar or better than we were last season, which is always nice. This club is so good at keeping it simple for the players. I think this work that went in behind the scenes in the summer was unbelievable. It was extraordinary. Like the hours they done, everything they done to make sure the players were good when they come back for pre-season. It was unbelievable, and credit to everyone, backroom staff. It doesn't matter who they were or what they done. It was everyone worked so hard to keep this club stable. And listen, I think a lot of people from the outside seeing it as a big thing, but in the inside it felt like another season. It felt like the same team.
Nathan Collins there with John Southall. Nottingham Forest have won in the league for the first time under Sean Dyche. They beat Leeds 3-1 at the City Ground. They stay 19th, but they're now within a point of Burnley in 17th. Here's the Forest manager with Phil White.
Sean, well done. Just what the doctor ordered, I imagine.
Yeah, very pleased. Important game as they all are, but certainly this one because, just that little gap. I mean, we don't want to come too far disconnected. We know the challenge in front of us. We know the challenge with the fixture list. So it was important, but also the underlying importance to me is always the performance levels. I always say, and I've said it for years, so forgive me, but you'll always take a lucky one, but you can't rely on the future of a team to be lucky. You have to earn the right, and you have to earn it from how you play, and I thought there was a lot of good signs about us today.
And you had to come from behind to do it.
Yeah, another pleasing thing. Man U won up when we came back in the end drew, but, it was looking like a real positive performance and possibly a win, which went away. But today, the same thing happened, but we acted very quickly, and then second half, a few changes to just to spark the group up, and then they took that into performance and we scored goals from open play as well. Well, we get a penalty obviously, but from open play I thought it was good.
Could we say you won it off the bench today with the impact of Amari Hutchinson?
No. The players before that are doing a good job. It's just it's going to be a squad mentality. We know the fixture list. It's not going away. I've assured the players. I don't think it's going away. I don't think it's not. That's what it is. So there's no point in shying away from the things that are jumping off the page here. That's our mentality. We're all going to play a part and we're all going to have to. So we're working with the players to increase their capacity to do so.
That's Sean Dyche. Daniel Farke's Leeds, meanwhile, are now just 1 point above the relegation zone.
We came here to win some points and we didn't win any points, so for that we are disappointed. On this level, best league in the world, small details are always decisive for the outcome. I think it was a tight game. 2 decisive moments. First, we went in lead with a great finish off of Lucas Matcher, but gave them the equalizer too cheap away too early after going in lead. This was one decisive situation. Yes, and the 2-1 in the second half. First of all, I think the referee was probably the only one in the whole stadium who saw a foul from our player. Normally we would have a free kick in their half. Wherever he gave a free kick against us, free kick, long ball, comes in, cross comes in, goal. Without the free kick, we wouldn't have conceded. If we look at ourselves, what we could have done better, of course, it's more like the box defending was not too difficult to defend the men in the box better. Were then too cheap this goal, and of course, and to be 2-1 down, you have to open everything. You bring many offensive thinking players on the pitch. Yes, and out of a clumsy situation, another penalty. So this 2 situation, I think the 1-1 and the 2-1 cost us the points today.
That's Daniel Farke. Bournemouth missed the opportunity to go second. They were beaten 4-0 by Aston Villa. Buendia, Onana, Barkley and Marlon with the goals. Bournemouth had to make an early change because captain Adam Smith had a nasty clash of heads with teammate Tyler Adams. Here's Anthony Iraola.
We were worried about both of the players. The doctors straight away told me Adam could not continue. With Tyler we left it go a little bit to see if he could continue, but we cannot use it just this as an excuse. Obviously it's not how you want to start a game, but I think we've been poor the first 45 minutes. I think we've been really poor, and I think we have to accept it. Congratulate Villa, but I think it's a warning for us. It's a warning of the competition.
Can you explain what do you mean by it's a warning of the competition?
I think we were doing and we started the season really well, but these last 2 games, City away and Villa away, we haven't been at our level. We cannot only think, it's very difficult places, it's not very strange that you don't get a result. I think we haven't been ourselves, and we have to review and get again going. I think second half has been much better, even if the result is the same. I think second half we've played our game, we've competed like we have to compete, and I'm really pleased about that reaction, but I cannot forget the first 45 minutes, and they deservedly have gone 2-0 up.
Anthony Iraola there speaking to Sohail Sahi. The day's other game finished Crystal Palace 0, Brighton 0. No Mark Gay for Palace today. He's got a bruised foot. That's going to rule him out of the England squad for the upcoming World Cup qualifiers. In the Scottish Premiership, full times, Aberdeen 1, Motherwell 1, Dundee 0, Rangers 3, and Hearts 1, Dundee United 1. It's currently Celtic 2, Kilmarnock 0 with about 15 minutes to go. Women's Super League, London City Lionesses beat Tottenham 4-2. Other scores, full times, Liverpool 1, Brighton 1, West Ham 1, Leicester 1 and Everton 1, Manchester City 2. And elsewhere, dramatic end to the Abu Dhabi Championship. The Golf saw Wolverhampton's Aaron Rye beat Tommy Fleetwood in a playoff 5 under par for his final round and 25 under par for the week. We're live from the Etihad, second-hand commentary of Manchester City 2, Liverpool 0 coming up.
This is 5 Live Sports with Steve Crossman.
Listen on BBC Sounds.
We're live from the Etihad as the rain drifts down in Manchester. City lead Liverpool by 2-0. There was a, I suppose you could say, controversial goal disallowed for Liverpool at 1-0. Andy Robertson ducking under Virgil van Dijk's header. It went in. Donnarumma complained, and after a VAR check, it was ruled out because of Robertson making a move. Dion Dublin, you've heard the reasoning. You were right in what you said. It wasn't anything to do with eye-line. But now that you've heard that, what do you think?
Rubbish.
Still think you're still not having it?
I think it's a goal. I think it's a goal. The ball's going in. Andy Robertson's done nothing at all to make the ball do anything else that it was going to do anyway. It's just a header from the far post. He's got out the way, away from Donnarumma, by the way. Donnarumma's dived toward the ball. He can see the ball. I don't see, he's not going to do a different dive if Andy Robertson isn't there. He's going to do exactly the same movement. He's going to shuffle over with his right foot leading over to the right-hand side of the goal. The ball goes into the left-hand side of the goal. He dives, he doesn't get it. It's a goal. I think it's a bad mistake.
Second half commentary on the way. Let's check in at the Sao Paulo Grand Prix with Harry Benjamin.
Having done a great move to get himself up into second place, Oscar Piastri, who trails his teammate Lando Norris both in this race and in the championship, has been given a 10-second time penalty for that move on Kimi Antonelli, which resulted in damage to the Ferrari driver, Charles Leclerc. So at his first pit stop, which he's yet to take, Piastri will have to wait 10 whole seconds. It's falling away for the Australian.
Commentary continues on 5 Sports Extra. Liverpool out first, Manchester City joining them. I did wonder, Julien Laurent, whether Arne Slot would make any changes, and the answer's no.
Yeah, I'm a bit surprised that we were discussing with Dion, because this hasn't been good enough from a Liverpool point of view. Okay, the goal, the disallowed goal, we can talk over it, but 7 touches in the City box in this first half, 52 minutes play, that's not enough.
Jules, thank you very much. Been lovely to have you as always. That's Julien Laurent, full-time in the Rugby Union. Wales 28, Argentina 52. So defeat for Steve Tandy in his first match in charge. Ball on the centre spot here, ready for second half commentary. City 2, Liverpool 0, Dion Dublin and correspondent John Murray.
Yes, thank you, Steve. On what is a properly wet Manchester afternoon now, we thought there might be changes for Liverpool. We thought there might be a change for Manchester City with O'Reilly, but he's out there, and the teams are as started the match. There's the whistle from Chris Kavanagh, who's been a central figure, along with Michael Oliver, the video assistant referee. Manchester City kick the second half off, and back it goes to Donnarumma, who strikes it forward. Here's the man, Haaland, who scored the opening goal with the header, having had his penalty saved before that, trying to skip his way through. But Liverpool, Konate plays it back to goalkeeper Mamadashvili. So Manchester City with Donnarumma, Mateus Nunes, Diaz, Gvardiol and O'Reilly. Then Nico Gonzalez, who scored the second goal via the deflection. Bernardo Silva, Shirky, Foden, Doku and Haaland. And the Liverpool side coming here, all in red with the white trim. Szoboszlai playing it forward now. Here is Salah, scampering after the ball out towards the right-hand side. He's up against O'Reilly. Salah then prods it to Bradley. Bradley's ball into the box, hits a Manchester City man, bounces down. Ekitike trying to find a position, back to Salah. His shot is blocked, and it's blocked all the way outside the penalty area for Manchester City, actually. Although Van Dijk is in. Excellent challenge on Haaland to win the ball back for Liverpool. If this had been at Anfield, that would have received a rapturous roar.
Yeah. It would have done as well. It's a really good challenge from Van Dijk, centre of the pitch. I mean, if Haaland gets a toe on that, he's away. But again, Van Dijk doing what he does.
Yep, and now Gonzalez winning a free kick as he's eased over and off the ball. So free kick to Manchester City. Rain absolutely pouring down now. Liverpool, Mamadashvili, Bradley, Konate, Van Dijk and Robertson. As City come forward, Doku gives it to O'Reilly. O'Reilly's ball across. Doku couldn't get there in the middle. And the ball just swept in front of him and across the edge of the 6-yard box and away. That could so easily have been a tap-in for Doku. But it remains 2-0. A third goal, you would think that would be too much. Here's Salah. Salah now trying to thread a ball across the penalty area. That was blocked away by Mateus Nunes. Comes back to the Liverpool right. Wirtz is there. Wirtz just carrying the ball infield. Bradley. Conor Bradley back to Salah. And Liverpool with the ball in front of Manchester City. Haaland's back there as well, working from one side to the other as Liverpool switch possession out towards the left-hand side. They have Mamardashvili in goal, Bradley, Konate, Van Dijk and Robertson, Gravenberch, Szoboszlai, McAllister, Salah, Ekitike and Wirtz. In the Isak, you would think Dion wouldn't be too far away as Wirtz plays it into Szoboszlai inside the penalty area. Gvardiol was with him, but Diaz was the covering defender to come across and stab it behind for a corner.
Yeah, it's a decent ball from Wirtz actually. Szoboszlai just off the back of his midfield player, gets into a really good position. Gvardiol there, he's aware to it, he's alive to it.
Streams of people still coming up the steps to our right, up the steps and down the steps, back to their seats, out into the undercover areas. Corner then for Liverpool. Again, players massed beyond the far post. And the delivery from Salah, left-footed, deep towards the back post, came off a Manchester City head, I think. In fact, the reason was that the City player, Diaz, I think it might have been, was shoved over, and it was given by referee Kavanagh as a free kick to Manchester City.
Yeah, just hands in the back of Diaz. There's not a lot in that, to be honest with you. I mean, Konate's just stopping Diaz standing on his toes, so he puts both arms out. Looks like a push. Diaz goes down and gets a free kick.
Yeah,
don't think it is.
Diaz did his very best to make it look like a push in the back, didn't he? Arms
and it worked.
thrown up
and
in the air. And it did work. And Haaland has his shirt pulled and he's pulled off the ball, so that is a free kick. That's an easy decision for the referee. Free kick to Manchester City on the halfway line. And with this 2-0 lead that they've got, Dion, for Manchester City, I mean, they are brilliant at managing the game, and that's what they'll try and do now as well. So you'd expect probably Liverpool to have more possession in this situation, but Manchester City, with the talent that they've got out there, there is the possibility, of course there is, to break away and get another one. Liverpool attacking towards the end, where their own supporters are sitting there rather miserably at the moment in the pouring rain. 2-0 Manchester City are in front. BBC World Service listeners are with us as well. There's every chance wherever you are on the planet the weather is a good deal nicer than it is here in Manchester, as it goes back to Mamardashvili. Passes it out to Szoboszlai. And then Gravenberch, one pass through the middle, Salah, oh, Donnarumma comes out. I think he might have just got something on that. He was way out of his penalty area. He went for it, Salah breaking through, that was risky, and he was able to get a touch. He could so easily have taken out Salah there, and that could have changed the game. And then Gravenberch wins a free kick on the right-hand side.
Yeah, both City players sprinting towards each other. I mean, Salah's going to get on the end of it as well, but I think it's actually Diaz that makes the challenge. He says to himself, right, I'm not waiting for me keeper. I'm not going to rely on my keeper. The keeper's going the right way to clear away from goal, but I think it's Diaz who gets a toe in. And he just says, right, I'm going to take charge of the situation, nullifies the situation, and then they have a conversation. That's how you defend.
Yeah, spot on, Dion. Diaz just got there. All three were coming together at more or less the same time. Diaz's outstretched leg just had the crucial touch. So it's a free kick then for Liverpool on the right flank. Szoboszlai stands, black hair hanging lankly down. Szoboszlai's ball in, took a flick off a Manchester City head, which cleared it back out of the penalty area. Doku running with the ball. Doku's gone between Bradley and Szoboszlai, and he's got support to his right, and he finds Cherki, and Cherki to the edge of the box, but the shot is blocked by Szoboszlai. Comes out though to Gonzalez, who goes down rather easily under the challenge from Bradley. But the referee says that's a foul by Bradley, it's a free kick, and it's a yellow card to the Liverpool right back.
Yeah, I mean, he could have got 2 yellows. He made a tackle earlier on Doku, and then he brings down, I think it's Cherki there. Cherki's on the floor, I think it is.
Gonzalez.
Gonzalez, yeah.
One.
I mean, he made a couple of challenges there, Bradley. There's one, just watching it back, and then he gets up.
Yeah,
Gonzalez.
It was for the first one,
For the first one, yeah, I think it was.
Not for the second one on Gonzalez.
I think it was exactly that. I mean, it's in a dangerous area, regardless of which one he got a yellow card for. There's a free kick on the edge of the box, about 25 yards-ish out for City. Right-hand side, as you look at the goal, about 4 players over it. Silva, Foden, Haaland wants a little bit of it as well. Yeah. Either one of them, John, to be honest with you.
Kevin De Bruyne was still here, he'd be interested in this.
Absolutely, yeah, Rodri would be over it as well.
But it won't be Haaland. He's walked away. He's going to leave it to Foden, I think. And Manchester City are going to make a change. I think we'll have time before the free kick is taken. We will, because the change is being made now. So while that happens, to Celtic, Kenny Crawford.
87 minutes gone. It's now Celtic 3, Kilmarnock now, and a brilliantly taken goal by Daisen Maeda, the Japan international. Fantastic ball through by Arne Engels, and Maeda finished at the near post. Celtic 3, Kilmarnock now.
So that should be a victory for Celtic, who will narrow the gap to the leaders' Hearts, who drew 1-1 with Dundee United. Rangers won 3-0. Aberdeen 1, Motherwell 1. Savino is coming on for Shirky. He's done well, been involved in the match, but we know what Savino will do. We know where he will go. But this is a free kick for Manchester City. Rain tips down from the skies, the dark skies above the Etihad Stadium. Foden on his left foot with the free kick, hits the wall with it, bounces across the box, and then is cleared away, volleyed away by Bradley to the halfway line. It is Manchester City 2, Liverpool 0. Doku with the ball on the left flank. Manchester City, who've not beaten Liverpool for 2.5 years. Not in the last 2 seasons. Liverpool won both last season. The season before, the 2 matches ended 1-1. Diaz now to the right-hand side. Bernardo Silva is out there, scoops it forward. Savino on the chase into the penalty. Savino tries to pull it back, but defender Van Dijk was there, and he was able to block it behind for a Manchester City corner. I think there's movement on the Liverpool bench.
Yeah, I can see Gakpo's actually been told to take his gear off. You're going on, basically.
Manchester City corner. Foden to take it. Foden just pulls his socks up. Foden back in the England squad on Friday, but as we've heard, lots of players either injured or withdrawing today. No Anthony Gordon, so there may well be new recruits from Thomas Tuchel. Foden takes this corner for Manchester City towards the back post. It actually hits Gvardiol, who was backing away, just over the top of the Liverpool defender, hit Gvardiol, bounced away, and Liverpool were able to clear it away. Almost 10 minutes gone in the second half here as Manchester City playing from right to left towards the north stand. The ball at the feet of Doku. Doku goes between 2 men into the penalty area now, shoots but straight. That goalkeeper Mamadashvili, it was heading right between his eyes, the Liverpool goalkeeper, and he patted it down with both gloves.
Yeah, I mean, because Doku is such a threat, Gravenberch is having to come over and help Bradley, and there's always a little gap in between. If they touch him, the ball goes through and they touch him, then they are in trouble. But he's such a threat down the left-hand side, and Bradley, I mean, he's breathing so heavy because he knows every single time he's a one-on-one, he's in trouble.
Yeah, and Liverpool winning a free kick for Wirtz, who was upended as Liverpool tried to break away. It's a free kick 10 yards inside the Manchester City half. I mean, Conor Bradley, having had to deal with Vinicius on Tuesday night, now against Doku, who's in full flow. Gvardiol with that challenge there, you know, that must have been borderline for a yellow card on Wirtz, but only a free kick. Right, here come the changes, and Kirkes is going to come on for Robertson, who, as we know, Andy Robertson has started 4 matches in a row, and so Kirkes is on to replace him. And as you said, Dion, Gakpo is going to come on for Ekitike, who's been quiet, the Liverpool top scorer this season in this match.
Yeah, hasn't had a lot of the ball at all. He hasn't had anything in behind either. City really haven't left any space in behind. They've backed themselves. They've defended incredibly well. And, you know, Gakpo with his pace, he'll look for that space in behind as well.
Yeah, just see who is going to play where now, with Ekitike going off and Gakpo coming on. Free kick for Liverpool. Manchester City 2-0 up. Curled in but headed away on the edge of the penalty area by Mateus Nunes. Comes out to Kirkes, who overhits the ball through, and cheers from the Manchester City fans. An angry reaction over here on this side of the field from Szoboszlai. And Kirkes, who, I mean, he cannot be unaware of the criticism that that has been coming his way in still the first months of his career as a Liverpool player. Szoboszlai, square ball infield. Wirtz now more central since Gakpo's come onto the field. Wirtz then, Bradley now on the right-hand side. Bradley drives it across. Oh, and it hits Gonzalez and bounces over the roof of his own net. It looked for a moment as though it was going to drop under the crossbar. It dropped just over onto the top of the net.
I mean, Donnarumma looks over his right shoulder as if to say, keep going, and it just landed on the top of the City net from Gonzalez's left foot. Does enough though, does enough, clears the danger. Corner for Liverpool.
That's actually as close as Liverpool have come, apart from having the ball in the net. But that was ruled out. So 2-0 still to Manchester City. Lines open for 606, 08, 085, 909, 693. You'll want to talk about this. Corner for Liverpool, into the near post, headed away by Foden. Cheers from Manchester City. And then further away on the edge of the box. And Liverpool really chasing the game now. Still half an hour to play though, De Jong. Still plenty of time. But Manchester City looking strong as they were here. I was here on Wednesday night against Borussia Dortmund. Liverpool though with Gakpo into the penalty area. He loves a goal against Manchester City. Square now to the edge of the box on the right-hand side to Bradley. Salah's out here on the right flank into Bradley. Bradley shoots across goal and then arriving at the back post. Gakpo couldn't get it under control. Arriving at pace and on his left foot just blazed it over and wide of the goal from the angle.
Yeah, tough chance actually on the far post. I mean, Bradley's on the underlap there inside Salah. I mean, he absolutely pings it to the far post and Gakpo connects. It's right on the corner of the 6-yard box. It's flying at him. I mean, he tries to pass the ball in the back of the net. You just need that one to hit your foot because there's so much pace on it. He's never going to be able to control it. Really difficult chance.
Manchester City take the goal kick short, get themselves into a bit of bother, end up playing it back to Donnarumma, who just gets rid of it with his right foot. Liverpool back in possession. The Grand Prix, the Sao Paulo Grand Prix. I bet it's not like this in Sao Paulo. It continues on Sports Extra. Lando Norris leading, last we heard. Gakpo carrying the ball forward, then the cross from Kirkes, that's blocked behind. And Liverpool building a bit of momentum here in the match. In fact, the offside flag was up, and that momentum has just gone.
Yeah, just dipped slightly. I mean, Gakpo seems to be the one on the left-hand side. Szoboszlai playing a little bit more central as well. Wirtz now playing just in behind as well. In behind a false nine. They don't seem to have anybody there at all at the moment, just flooding that midfield. Trying to get control of the game, I think, Liverpool.
Yeah, Szoboszlai pushing himself further forward. So it is 2-0. The first half goals from Haaland, almost on the half hour, and Nico Gonzalez in added time, the deflected shot. And more live sport on Sports Extra tonight, the NFL from 9 o'clock. And all of this will be chewed over on the Premier League review, which will be on the Football Daily feed on BBC Sounds on the app tonight, round about 9 o'clock. And of course, the Monday Night Club tomorrow. Steph Houghton is with Mark Chapman, Chris Sutton and Rory Smith. 2-0 here. As I say, lines open for 606. Robbie Savage and Chris Sutton waiting for your calls. It'll be busy tonight. 08, 085 909 693. Liverpool with Salah going back and all the way back to Konate. So back to Glasgow, Kenny Crawford.
Full-time Celtic 4, Kilmarnock 0. Martin O'Neill's men have reduced Hearts' Premiership lead to 7 points, and Celtic have a game in hand too. Johnny Kenny, Kieran Tierney, Dyson Maeda and Arne Engels with the goals. Engels was a late penalty just before the final whistle. Kelly are 9th, they've lost 5 in a row. Full-time Celtic 4, Kilmarnock 0.
Another 4-0 win for another of your former clubs today, De Jong.
Could be here all day with the former clubs.
We could. What is happening in the Grand Prix? Harry Benjamin.
Pit stop for Oscar Piastri, who had to serve a 10-second time penalty, was running in the lead, now falls all the way down the field. It's very much advantage Lando Norris right now, but the strategy proving really intriguing here. Let's see how far Norris can go. Let's see how quickly Piastri can catch up. And Max Verstappen is up inside the top 5 from the pit lane.
Thank you, Harry, who will continue with the commentary on Sports Extra on your digital radio or indeed via the BBC Sounds app. Occasionally Pep Guardiola is putting his hood up, but it's such a flimsy coat that he's got on, it's barely making any difference, and his shaven head is absolutely soaked. Arne Slot standing much more quietly to his right, reflects actually the position of the game. Liverpool are having more of it, but they're not really threatening. It's Manchester City. You certainly couldn't say that they're clinging on by any means. They are defending well. As the ball is played by Nico Gonzalez. That is a pressure relieving pass downfield for O'Reilly, who gives it to Doku. Why not? Doku shoots. Goal for 3-0 to Manchester City. Jeremy Doku, that's the way to do it. And that's the victory surely for Manchester City, done against the champions here in Manchester today. 3-0.
That's outstanding. That is truly outstanding from Doku. He's been the man all game. I've said he's the threat. That's the threat he can be. I mean, O'Reilly receives the ball. It's a great ball from Gonzalez from right to left. O'Reilly's in the left wing position. He's about 20 yards inside Liverpool's half. Yes! He goes forward about another 5 or 10 yards, and he sees Doku inside him. He just rolls the ball to him and says, go on then, have a go at Konate. All he does, drops his left shoulder, comes inside, and he curls it in the top corner. Mamadashvili has no chance. It's hitting the side netting. Doku, what a player, what a finish. Game over.
Yes, and you might have heard there, just behind Dion, the gasp, and there it is again as they show it on the big screens here. It's a bit like when you're at the test match and a wicket is taken with a brilliant ball and everyone gasps, and that's what they did when they saw that shot from maybe 19 yards, maybe 20 yards from an angle. It flew past the dive of Mamadashvili.
Yeah, he just knew Konate. Doku knew that Konate was the defender. He knew he hasn't got the quick feet to stick with him. He does his little shuffle as he does, and he just gets a little bit of space on the inside, and he just curls in the top corner. Such a good finish, cultured finish.
Manchester City 3, Liverpool 0.
Create chances in the final third, Liverpool.
Well, it's a tale of two cities, isn't it now, this match? Liverpool and Manchester, with Manchester City looking upwardly and Liverpool facing what would be quite a damaging defeat in the context of what we've seen over recent weeks. This would be Liverpool's 5th defeat in their last 6 Premier League matches. And at 3-0, and with City with their tails up and playing well and still posing problems, this could get worse for Liverpool and Arne Slot. However, they are on the attack with Wirtz, and the Manchester City fans are on their feet doing their favourite Poznan as another Liverpool attack comes to absolutely nothing. Wirtz takes it out to the right, is left on a pile on the ground, flat on his face, and Manchester City back in possession. And the place is vibrant. They're enjoying this after watching Liverpool romp to the title last season and Manchester City's struggles and the comparative turmoil that they went through last season. Well, now here, Manchester City, right in front of our eyes, are finding their strength and their confidence again in front of us.
Yeah, they are, and they're just bouncing it about. I mean, Bernardo Silva, he's just dropped in. He's sitting literally about 5 or 10 yards in front of his back two, and he's just bouncing the ball around. He's getting it back. He's dictating what's happening today in this little 10 minutes that we've seen City.
And Jeremy Doku has been excellent whenever he's got the ball, and now scoring that goal. That must be one of the best goals that he scored for Manchester City, that one. Brilliantly hit. And 3-0 is the scoreline. Doku's first Premier League goal of the season. Scored in the Champions League, you might remember, against Napoli. Scored against Swansea last week in the Carabao Cup. That was a special one. Watch out for that on Match of the Day tonight. It's Gabby Logan tonight, Wayne Rooney and Danny Murphy will be with Gabby on Match of the Day on BBC One tonight, or any time on the BBC iPlayer, and the Women's Football Show will be on after that. And of course, new this season from 8 o'clock on the BBC platforms, you can watch the clips and the goals from the Premier League. So look out for that goal from Jeremy Doku. Haaland's header wasn't bad either, Dion.
No, exactly. Yeah, I mean, I'm always going to be biased. I think Haaland's goal was absolutely outstanding, but to curl the ball from, I don't know, 20 yards against a keeper like that and give him no chance. Outstanding. Some really good football being played by City, totally in control.
Liverpool with the ball on the left-hand side. Gakpo, so there's no Isak yet. I'm not sure if we'll see him at all, will we?
I don't think we will. I don't think we will. He's not even warming up at the moment. He's not out there. I can't see any movement on the bench at all. I suppose he's thinking, why would I, in this situation, risk his fitness? Find a way. The red shirts are on the pitch. Find a way of getting back into the... Give me a goal. Give yourself a chance.
Yep. World Cup qualifiers next. And then after the internationals, Liverpool's next match at home to Nottingham Forest. Here is Bradley on the right. Bradley's cross bounces back to him, but Doku now doing his job defensively. Bradley tries to flick it past Doku, goes down, but referee Kavanagh is having none of that. He's saying that Bradley just ran into Doku and O'Reilly, and eventually it's out of play for a throw-in to Liverpool. I think probably Doku, the leading contender for man of the match at the moment.
Yeah, at the moment, he seems to be behind everything pacey and end product of City. He's an absolute nightmare to mark. I'd hate to be a fullback trying to mark him, because you do need some help from a teammate, and even when your teammate comes to help you, he finds a way of getting past you.
That little piece of play where he danced between the two defenders. I mean, that was the...
It's great. It's great to watch, John. It really is. It's just total football.
Manchester City 3-0 up, and the Etihad is making a great noise. Still the Liverpool supporters, I don't see any of them leaving just yet. Here is Salah. Salah now up against O'Reilly, but the ball runs away from him, and young O'Reilly does a very good job again against Salah and is able to chip it away. Bradley plays it back. O'Reilly swings a leg at it, gets just a tiny contact on it. Foden is there, all energy, buzzing around, actually plays the ball across his own penalty area and gives it away to Gakpo. Gakpo now edge of the area to McAllister. Gravenberch in the box on the right, comes back to Szoboszlai, chips it into the penalty area, but chips it straight at Bernardo Silva, who immediately in turn chips it towards Doku, who's racing away and is then impeded, and that's a free kick on the halfway line. Szoboszlai shakes his head. He looks glaringly at the fourth official, who just stands, Sam Barrett, with his arms crossed as if to say, nothing to do with me.
I didn't trip up Doku, you did, basically. I mean, you can't let him get away there. If he knocks that out of his feet, I don't care how quick you are, you're not going to catch him. Szoboszlai knew that as well.
20 minutes to play. And then we'll wrap things up on 5 Live, and then the lines will be all yours. Here's Savinho. Savinho on the overlap, and he's able to cut it back against McAllister, but Gakpo is back in there, and it is tackled out of play for a throw-in down the right. So yes, the line's open to talk to Robbie Savage and Chris Sutton, since it is a Sunday night, on the UK's most popular football phone-in, 606 08 085 909 693. That is free for you to call from mobiles and landlines. Text 85058 at your standard message rate, or you can get in touch via social media, hashtag BBC606, and you will be able to read all about this, all of the fallout, the first half controversy as well, the goal, the Liverpool goal that was ruled out, that would have made it 1-1, Van Dijk heading it in, but Robertson deemed to have been impeding goalkeeper Donnarumma in the 6-yard box in an offside position. So read about that on the football pages of the BBC Sport website and app. Our chief football writer, Phil McNulty, is here writing on it. Free kick to Liverpool. Mamardashvili fires it away downfield. Seems like a long time ago now that Mamardashvili made the save from the Erling Haaland penalty, but nevertheless, and never mind, Haaland was not going to be denied his 99th Premier League goal, which he headed in. Then Gonzalez scored with the deflection, and Jeremy Doku with the excellent third. Here's Salah. Salah down the right with the outside of his boot, tries to play it infield. It hits O'Reilly and bounces out of play for a throw-in next to the corner flag. He has had a very, very good day, young O'Reilly, the 20-year-old in the England squad, up against Salah. And Salah, I think I'm right in saying, has not had a chance.
No, he hasn't. He's been limited because Doku's been helping O'Reilly, Foden's been helping O'Reilly. They know the danger that Salah poses, but what they've done is they've collectively made sure Salah has nothing to do
Oh, Szoboszlai skips away from O'Reilly, plays it all the way across the 6-yard box. No one there in red, and it's turned behind by Mateus Nunes for a corner.
Yeah, I mean, Szoboszlai plays that ball in right down the 6-yard line, not a red shirt in sight. He stands there with his arms out as if to say, where's my teammate? Get yourself in there.
And after the ball ended up in amongst the Manchester City fans, you know what happened. They knocked it around above their heads. Party time in there in the section right next to the Liverpool fans. And just as Gakpo was preparing to take the corner, the ball was thrown over his head back onto the pitch. So a further delay. Gakpo is ready now. Manchester City ready as well to defend this as it comes into the near post and is headed away for Manchester City. Szoboszlai volleys it brilliantly first time back over to Gakpo, tried to head it across but headed it straight into Haaland, and actually Gakpo was coming back from an offside position. So it is Manchester City 3, Liverpool 0, and we're going to see Marmoush come on for the remainder of the match, and he is going to take over from Jeremy Doku, who is going to be withdrawn, and Jeremy Doku is going to receive a marvellous ovation from the Manchester City fans from his performance today.
And rightly so. Been an absolute nuisance to Liverpool every time he gets the ball. All he does is look forward, incredibly positive. I mean, he's getting a massive hug from Pep Guardiola. He's not allowing him to sit down yet. He's got his arm around him, telling him how well he's played, and he's getting high fives from all the staff and all his teammates, and rightly so. Outstanding performance, young man.
Well played. And the man who scored the goal against Real Madrid on Tuesday for Liverpool, Alexis McAllister, makes way for Curtis Jones, who comes on as a substitute. So 3-0 it is. Manchester City, it would seem, almost certainly on the way to victory, although Marmoush is dispossessed by Szoboszlai, and Szoboszlai up to the edge of the area, but excellent defending there from Mateus Nunes, who stepped in, won the ball, plays it foot to Haaland. Haaland's up against Konate, red shirts coming back, still Haaland on his left foot, edge of the D. Marmoush now, Marmoush with a shot, diving blocked by Bradley. That comes out to Curtis Jones. In comes the challenge from Mateus Nunes, but Liverpool survived that one and are able to bring it forward with Szoboszlai, who passes it into the path of Salah, who's running up against O'Reilly, who does get a foot in on that and takes it away from the Liverpool man. Szoboszlai back along the edge of the box, then Jones, then Wirtz. Szoboszlai tries to cross and it bounces away off the shins of Nico O'Reilly and out of play for a corner to Liverpool. So more to come from here at the Etihad Stadium, where Manchester City lead by 3-0. It remains Manchester City 3, Liverpool 0. We've just seen a spanking drive by Szoboszlai that was very well kept out by Donnarumma, diving to his right. The resulting corner is headed away by Haaland, headed back in by Bradley, bounces into the 6-yard box. Donnarumma goes down, denies Salah, and then the offside flag goes up against Salah, and Manchester City survive that and continue to lead 3-0, Dion Dublin.
Yeah, just keep quashing things. Diaz is putting his body on the line. Haaland's going back and doing his defensive duties as well. Everybody in a light blue shirt seems to be just doing enough to get over the line. And what they're doing as well out of possession, they're just going into two banks of 5 and saying to Liverpool, go show us what you've got then. And at the moment, Liverpool aren't showing anything.
No, 3-0. And Pep Guardiola says in the match programme today, the excellent match programme, which has a guest editor for the first time, and it's Doves who've guest edited the Manchester City programme. They are Manchester City fans. There's a big tribute article about Pep Guardiola, and in the match programme, as Liverpool come forward with Gakpo, who crosses, and that's deflected behind him. It's another Liverpool corner. Pep Guardiola says in there of Liverpool, he said, it's Liverpool who have pushed us and made us better, more than any other team, more than any other club, mainly during the Klopp years, but Slot as well last season. But Arne Slot about to watch his team lose to Manchester City for the first time after his victories last season. Corner then for Liverpool, Gakpo playing it in, but that's headed up and away by Nico Gonzalez, nodded back in by Bradley. It bounces down in the 6-yard box, and a stretch by Van Dijk, but that just took it away and underneath Donnarumma, who was able to drop on it. And actually, Dion, Pep Guardiola, most unusually, has a losing record as a manager against Liverpool. Before today, played 24, won 6, lost 10, drawn 8.
Wow, wasn't expecting those stats.
Yeah.
Not for a manager of that stature. Just shows what the managers, or should I say, what both managers at Liverpool have done.
Yes, which will make this all the sweeter on this milestone occasion for him. 1,000 matches for him as a manager, 550 for Manchester City, of which, incidentally, this will be his 716th win out of 1,000. That is incredible.
That is outstanding, really. I mean,
I wonder if anybody in the history of management, as it bounces forward. Salah now might have a chance, stabs it past Donnarumma, and it bounces wide of the post. Jeers and mocking from the Manchester City fans because it didn't bounce into the net. It bounced wide from Salah, and it remains 3-0. And Pep Guardiola is asking, how has that happened, that Salah was able to run away like that?
Yeah, I mean, he's one-on-one with Donnarumma. The ball's bouncing just in between his legs there. He's just off to the right, and all he's got to do is half volley it past Donnarumma. And that's what he does, gets his toe on it, but it just goes wide, a yard wide. I mean, even then, Ruben Diaz is high-fiving Guardiola as if to say, well done, you've done enough. They are so together, this City side.
Ball is cleared out of play on the halfway line, and a throw-in to Liverpool just down in front of us here on the right-hand side. Liverpool work it out and forward from the back. This is going to be 7 wins in a row here for Manchester City. As the ball is crossed from the left-hand side, takes a deflection, but Donnarumma is able to gather it and I think prevent it from going out. The Liverpool fans were saying otherwise, but the assistant on this side didn't have a great view, says, yeah, it's okay. But also, it'll be 7 wins in a row at home, and they'll have scored or won all of those matches by at least 2 goals. So we're seeing that
they're returning.
Yeah.
They are returning to where they feel they should be, challenging on every front.
As Sabinho plays it up towards Marmoush, Haaland lurks in the middle. Haaland, who's now reached 28 goals this season in 18 appearances for club and country, 19 for Manchester City.
Bizarre numbers, aren't they? Just an out-and-out genius goal scorer.
Dion, a Premier League Golden Boot winner, don't forget, himself. Didn't quite touch those numbers though, Dion.
Over a few seasons I did.
Exactly, yes. However, as Salah comes back and is rather simply caught offside, and that is a free kick to Manchester City halfway inside their own half. And really for Liverpool, for the champions, as I say, heading to what will be a 5th defeat in their last 6 Premier League matches. You know, after the confidence-boosting wins of the last week, those very good wins against Aston Villa and Real Madrid, this has resurfaced quite a few of the concerns and worries about Arne Slot's team. Let's get another update from the Grand Prix from Harry Benjamin.
Lap 55 of 71, Lando Norris leads. Kimi Antonelli is in second with George Russell and the Mercedes in third. But it's Oscar Piastri who is trying to pick off places and do damage limitation, having also just come into the pits. He's just made a lovely move and got himself up into 5th. He'll now try and chase down Max Verstappen in 4th. All 3 championship protagonists racing it out here, but Norris with the advantage.
Chance for Manchester City for a 4th goal. O'Reilly actually had space in the area as it came to him. He tried to pick a spot, but he blazed it over the top.
Yeah, he did. He set himself. He's only a few yards, about 15 yards on the angle, but I mean, Bradley, I think it is, comes flying over. No, it's not. It's an awful effort anyway. O'Reilly's on the floor now. He's got cramp in his left leg.
We are going to see another Liverpool change, and Florian Wirtz, who has had another quiet day. Florian Wirtz, who, you know, came with the club record fee, the British record fee at the time. He's off the field. Joe Gomez is coming on as well, and that's the end of Conor Bradley's afternoon.
I'm not surprised. His legs would have gone absolutely shattered, the young lad. Put a shift in, not his day today. He's had hard work against Doku. Semedo comes on as well. He's ran himself ragged into the ground.
And Chiesa is also on for Liverpool. Federico Chiesa, the number 14. So 3-0 it is. And this will take Manchester City back up into second place in the table to 22 points. Salah bursts forward. Offside flag, though. He's up against Salah again. He's been caught offside maybe 4 or 5 times during the match.
Yeah, and you know what? He's been caught offside twice in the last, I don't know, 2 minutes or so. It's a lazy mind. He's not normally like that, Salah. He's normally got his heels on the line, and he can see right down that City defence as well. And he's just switched off slightly. He's not quite on it. Liverpool aren't quite on it with a pass into Salah. Therefore, he's trying to steal a few yards. He's getting played in offside positions. They should know he's in an offside position, and Salah should never be in that offside position either.
Did you enjoy Erling Haaland last week talking about how little he's been caught offside during his Manchester City career? I think he said 18 times.
Yeah, well, it doesn't surprise me, and the reason why he's not caught offside is because when the ball is in and around De Bruyne's feet, he has his back to De Bruyne, so he can see where the line is. He knows the ball's coming, so he's already in that starter's position. He can see the back four, and he knows when to go. He's that strong and that quick. He backs himself.
That's Dion Dublin. Lines open for 606 with Robbie Savage and Chris Sutton. 08085 909 693. So they will be anxious to hear what you're going to say. There'll be quite a debate, I think, Dion, about the incident, that moment in the first half when Liverpool thought they'd made it 1-1 with Van Dijk's header, but it was ruled off. VAR stepped in and said that Andy Robertson was interfering with the goalkeeper, Donnarumma, so it was ruled out. And from there, Manchester City scored the second through Gonzalez, and then the third in the second half through Doku. But they've been, by a distance, the better team. Salah playing it back. That goal could have changed everything, of course.
Yeah, and I think it would have done if it had been counted, but, you know, the laws and all that.
Yep. Anyway, join the discussion on that with Robbie and Chris. 08085 909 693 on 5 Live. But this is 5 Live and the World Service. We're into the last 5 minutes now. So, Dion, Manchester City are going to go to 22 points. So 4 points behind Arsenal after Brian Brobby scored that equaliser for Sunderland last night.
Yeah, and you know, on today's performance as well, they've looked good, they've looked fluid. The manager on the sidelines, Pep Guardiola, I mean, he must have touched each side of that technical area 40, 50 times today, hands on his hips. Lots and lots of movement and shaking of the hands and the head. But he's got his team where he wants them again. This is City of old, City that we remember, dominating games.
Yes, it is. And O'Reilly now, shaking off the cramp, has played it forward to Marmoush. Seats go up as people rise to their feet. Marmoush, Liverpool have got 2 defenders back in there, though, Gomez. However, Marmoush has been able to find O'Reilly. O'Reilly goes for goal from the angle. And he slashed that one wide as well. Runs his fingers through his hair, which is usually stacked up so high, but in all of this Manchester rain, it's rather drooped down.
Yeah, he's had a good game.
His head.
He's shattered, isn't he? He's shattered. I mean, he's getting cramped now when he's
a bit like his hair.
Yeah.
Played up towards the halfway line. O'Reilly is fouling Salah. Salah will know that he's been in a contest with O'Reilly today. Wins the free kick this time. Liverpool played out there to the left flank to Gakpo, then forward to Kirkes, but Diaz is there to whack it away downfield. So 4 points now, the Arsenal lead, and Arsenal have got Tottenham after the international window. The game when Arsenal come here, by the way, is not until the weekend of the 18th of April. So that is late in the season, isn't it? For those sort of matches. It is the 5th last match of the Premier League season. As things are, of course, things could change. But that could be a big one. Here's Salah, left-footed ball across the penalty area, and it's cleared away by Mateus Nunes on the edge of the box. And this will leave Liverpool 8 points behind the leaders, and it's going to get to the stage where the discussion will begin about, you know, whether they're capable of fighting their way back into the title race this season, Liverpool.
Well, on today's performance, they've totally been outplayed. City look incredibly fit as well, I've got to say. Even out of possession, they're getting back into that, and it has been at times 2 banks of 5, and Liverpool have been forced to find a way. They've played pass after pass. I think Liverpool have been a little bit sluggish today, and they've passed the ball too slowly, in my opinion.
Maybe having named an unchanged team after Real Madrid, I'm sure Arne Slot will be asked about that. You know, everything that performance will have taken out of them. But listen, Manchester City played the next night.
Absolutely, it's Manchester City you're playing, really. That should be your motivation. That should be, right, I'm not tired minds, should be no excuses at all.
Pep Guardiola, for once, and you rarely see this, looks like a man satisfied with his team's day's work. Although, as I say that, he just raises his hand and wags a finger at someone.
He's standing still, John. He's standing still.
It's incredible. It's a collector's item. How many times in his 1,000 matches has he stood still? Savinho then breaks away and wins a free kick on the halfway line after he was fouled by the recovering Jones. So that's a free kick. And a yellow card as well for Jones for, I presume, tugging him back. Savinho, who was past him. Yeah. Just...
not a lot in that, is there? There's not a lot in that, is there?
It was almost like a little tickle. A rib tickler.
Maybe he's incredibly ticklish and he had to fall down.
Yeah, should be laughing on the other side of his face. As the ball's played forward for Mateus Nunes, who does foul Kirkes, and it's a free kick to Liverpool. We're in the 90th minute now. Here comes the 4th official, Sam Barrett, with the board.
What do you think, John? I think 4.
Yeah, it could be 4. I think he might not be too far away. Liverpool are taking the free kick from the wrong place, and Virgil van Dijk has been told to go back and tap it across the penalty area, which they do. And then it's played forward to Gomez here. Szoboszlai, that was a little short, so O'Reilly slides in again. Throw taken by Liverpool, Chiesa, back to the edge of the box to Konate, and then all the way back to goalkeeper Mamadashvili. And it is 3, Dion. So not quite as many as we thought. Ball played back to Donnarumma. They'll want a clean sheet. Manchester City, of course. They were disappointed the way that Borussia Dortmund came back and scored and threatened more against them. This has been a more complete performance, really. Haaland carrying it forward. Sets away Marmoush. That took him wide, though, the pass from Haaland, and he just had to take a touch, which took it back out towards the right-hand side, and he's going to allow it to run to Bernardo Silva, and Bernardo Silva taps it back to Foden, and Blue Moon begins now, and well it might after this performance. So Bernardo Silva has ended up on the ground, and the referee, in fact, Phil Foden has gone down. Might have just been caught by an arm, perhaps.
Szoboszlai, I think it was.
Because the players have... it's not an angry melee, but the players have gathered around, and that might well be looked at as Szoboszlai came in. He caught the back of Foden's head actually with his shoulder, wasn't it? Top of his shoulder.
I think more whiplash.
Just leaned into it.
Yeah, just more whiplash. Foden not expecting that kind of contact. Szoboszlai shoulder into the back of Phil Foden's left shoulder, and he sort of...
Wasn't a great challenge.
No, it wasn't a great challenge. You know, somebody that's had a bad neck injury, I know how painful they can be.
Yeah, when Foden wasn't expecting
it,
came from behind. Foden, though, fortunately, is okay. He will be desperate, I know, to get involved with England again over the course of the next week. Foden's going to try a shot from the edge of the area, but drags it well wide. He's not been involved as centrally as he was on Wednesday night here against Borussia Dortmund, when he really was excellent. And Jeremy Doku has been named as the man of the match. I don't think there's too much surprise in that. But for Phil Foden to be back in the England squad for the first time since March, I think highly significant. Bellingham and Foden back in there together. Thomas Tuchel talking the other day to me about perhaps staying on longer than the World Cup, which was an interesting development on Friday. That got my eyebrows raised. I can tell you.
I bet, and so it should.
Yes. Kirkes up towards Gakpo on the halfway line. Gakpo turns, little pass forward. Liverpool supporters now are vacating their seats inside the Etihad Stadium. Enjoyed great times against Manchester City last season. In fact, during those wins last season, you know, it was Liverpool who were outclassing Manchester City. But today, it's the champions who've been second best, and Manchester City are about to see this comprehensive win confirmed by Chris Kavanagh's whistle. It's a throw-in for Manchester City. The television cameras are about to hover next to Arne Slot. Pep Guardiola turns to his right, he shakes hands with Arne Slot, and the Liverpool manager says well played to Manchester City's manager, who on his 1000th match as a manager has recorded a super victory really against the champions Liverpool by 3-0, with Erling Haaland scoring his 99th Premier League goal, Nico Gonzalez making it 2-0 just before half-time with the deflected shot, and then the pick of the goals from Jeremy Doku, and that confirmed it. And Pep Guardiola now goes back out to the side of the pitch, turns, looks up, I presume to his family in the tier above us, and blows them kisses. Job well done by Guardiola and by Manchester City, and that is, for City, 4 wins in a row in all competitions. They're now to within 4 points of Arsenal. They're back into second place in the table, and Manchester City have won 7 out of their last 8. That is ominous, Dion Dublin.
It is, because I feel they've dominated in every aspect of the game today, whether it will be energy, whether it be movement, whether it be work rate out of possession, chances created, and every single one of their players really did put a shift in today. O'Reilly's out on his feet, Jeremy Doku gets man of the match, and rightly so. But yet, I do believe Liverpool on this occasion today were outclassed by a team that are just showing us that, you know what, don't write us off. We are there or thereabouts.
And as for Liverpool, 5th defeat of the season. That's 5 defeats out of 11 Premier League matches. Lost 5 of the last 6. Now they've lost 4 Premier League away matches in a row for the first time since 2012. And after the high of Real Madrid on Tuesday night, beating the Spanish league leaders, they just couldn't follow it up today, and they've been second best. The Liverpool players slipping away down the tunnel as they walk towards us, and the Manchester City players still out there on the field with Pep Guardiola, and they're going to enjoy this moment. Manchester City 3, Liverpool 0. And Steve Crossman is just to our left here inside the Etihad Stadium with us. Steve.
As the Manchester City fans chant the name of Pep Guardiola, game number 1000 in management, one I'm sure that will live long in the memory. Rodri is just beneath us here with his hands behind his back. I look at him, Dion Dublin, I look at the fact that they've closed the gap to Arsenal to 4 points, and I think, why can't we have a title race this season?
Yeah, and you know what, on today's performance as well, Steve, they looked incredibly comfortable, resolute. Yes, the Virgil van Dijk goal that was disallowed will go on. People will chat about it, whether it's right or wrong. It was disallowed, and City just went on and got stronger and stronger and frustrated Liverpool. Liverpool didn't have the answers today at all. Looked a little bit leggy. City looked completely opposite.
When it's Match of the Day tonight on BBC One at 10:30 with Danny Murphy, Wayne Rooney and Gabby Logan, I'm sure there'll be lots of discussion about the disallowed goal at 1-0 as well. Reality, though, in the end, Manchester City far better than Liverpool today. Dion, John, thank you both very much indeed. So City 3, Liverpool 0, Palace 0, Brighton 0, Villa 4, Bournemouth 0, Brentford 3, Newcastle 1, Forest 3, Leeds 1. 08085 909 693. Get your calls in. Chris Sutton and Robbie Savage not far away. If you want the Grand Prix right now, final stages on 5 Sports Extra. 6:06 here on 5 Live.
Hello guys, and thank you for all the support, guys. It's been absolutely brilliant, and I hope you guys have absolutely enjoyed it. Thank you for 800 subscribers. Get in! We only just breached 700 not that long ago, and now we've reached the top big time, and what an amazing that is. I'm hoping one day we will make it to that big moment of 1,000 subscribers. Anyway, thank you for all the support here today, and thank you for all the likes, the comments, and everything like that. It has been absolutely brilliant. And guys, onwards and upwards. And by the way, the live commentating from Robotic is coming soon on Monday, the 10th of November, UK time at 8 o'clock. So get yourself ready. Stay tuned. And I'll see you all guys tomorrow. Bye for now.